hop on into this league. The first game or two might be a little bit quiet in this league, so I'm gonna chow down this salad that my wife bought me really quick. This is kind of a sweet turn. We get to cast this for Madness, pumping these dorks up. And then we get to flip her. Oh, this technically has a Madness cost, huh? No, we're not going to cast Bloodghast for Madness. We are, however, going to put Bloodghast into play here. Yeah, looks like bring to light Scapeshift on the other side. I just want to talk about how that turn was awesome really quick. I'm going to go back to finishing my lunch now real quick. And we'll be back to our normal loud self. So, people often ask what can make new decks competitive in Modern. You know, maybe not tier 1, but competitive. And my answer is always the same. Quality interaction and a fast linear draw are important things. And like, we killed them on turn 4 through a Sakura Tribal for this game. Like, they blocked 3 points of damage. And that's pretty impressive, I think, especially considering, like, in other games, like, we get to play Lightning Bolts and Fatal Pushes and other quality removal in this deck, so I don't know. I would be surprised if to ever call this deck tier 1, but I think, is there something playable here? Yeah, probably. Probably something very reasonable here somewhere. Is Smuggler's Copter too slow? I guess this is pretty good at triggering madness and stuff. This is maybe too slow. Maybe just some of the bolts. Yeah, probably just some of the bolts, right? Am I supposed to trim Temper or am I supposed to trim actual Lightning Bolt? Because, like, Madness has a lot of upside here, right? It was a 4-lander, but we curved out, like, 1, 2, 3 very nicely. Let's do this. I think I could go either way. Yeah, thinking on it a little bit more, I probably should have mulliganed this hand. I think I probably should have mulliganed this one. Just didn't do anything right. No disruption, not particularly aggressive. I think this one's on me. Like, there's no guarantee our 6 would have been awesome, but I think our average 6 was probably better than this, especially better now that we've, like, flooded or stumbled over all these 4-drops, right? Pretty reasonable chance they just, like, do a thing and kill us next turn. Or the turn after. This hand is, like, kinda okay. I don't know about good, but I'm going to go with kinda okay. Oh man, do they have search on one? Oh no, it's their nut draw, chat. This hand is full of cards we put in this deck, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Chat! Chat, my Delver flipped. Can you believe it, chat? My Delver never flips, chat. Nice, Steve. Here's my flying creature and my trample creature. Get out of here. We could get Madcap next turn. We could get Madcap as early as next turn. So they're gonna Steve plus have a search go off. I am planning to put up a donation goal for the Invitational probably after tomorrow, probably next week. Gate command. Huh. Do you want to make them discard a card or shock them? I probably want to make them discard a card, right? Alright, give me a land, Occultist. Sad. No, Penguin. So, Stromkirk Condemned also puts lethal in play, Burgle. Huh. I think I just want to brutality them, right? Maybe I'm supposed to keep... Is it Staticaster is the last card in their hand, right? No, I was dead to 7th land Scapeshift, so I think playing a creature there is wrong. Because I'm at 18. If I wasn't at 18, I think I'd agree with you. What's the donation goal for the Invitational? I think I need 1,500 to justify the trip. between expenses and the time off I'm going to have to take. Basically, the 1,500 will cover travel expenses plus the 2 to 3 days on stream that we're not going to be able to play donation decks. So I can prepare. Rest in peace. Sure. That does not impact Madness cards. Correct, Toxic Flames. If I don't hit the goal, there's not really an incentive to go. I'm better off staying home to just work. I mean, you're not blocking, right? Sure. Didn't you already get got by this once this match? I feel like we've been here before. I guess they just didn't want to take a hit and die, and they wanted to give themselves a chance to rip Scapeshift. I'd believe that. Carthiax, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. While we're waiting for the next match in this league to pop, I'd just like to thank everyone for hanging out here today. My name's Jeff Holglen. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30-plus hours a week. We focus primarily on Modern. If you're enjoying my content, please consider subscribing. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. Wouldn't be here without their support. This deck is really sweet, and this deck, like many of the decks that we play here on stream, is a viewer-submitted deck list. If you're interested in potentially seeing me play one of your decks on stream in the future, be sure to check out bit.ly/HugelSalad for all the details on how my donation deck system works. Past all of that, you can support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com. I love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code HOGLEN at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. Honey is a free browser add-on that when you install it using link bit.ly/HugelHoney, you'll be supporting my content here at absolutely no cost to yourself. What Honey does is when you're shopping online, it looks at stuff you put in your shopping cart and then searches automatically for a coupon code to try and save you some money on things you're buying anyways. Lisa would like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Christy and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 2 months now, and we really enjoy it. I don't think we'd ever go back to a traditional pillow top mattress. You can save $160 or more on your new mattress by checking out links bit.ly/HugelBedUS and bit.ly/HugelBedCA. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hooglandia. Please talk to your friendly neighborhood moderator about your complimentary timeout. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. YOLO. Maybe I should mulligan. It's got 5 lands in it. Meh. What is the only competitive deck that I can play Carnage Tyrant in? I don't think Carnage Tyrant's really a modern playable card. Humans. Alright. Time to figure out who the better tribe is, chat. Who do you think's the better modern tribe? These silly humans or vampires? It feels like it would be a flavor fail if the vampires weren't better than humans, right? Vampires eat humans, so obviously they'll win. God bless, God bless. Yeah, yep, Madness cards are cast. Zenus, your notes on exclamation donation decks, clean up the mana and add lands is the linked list. Is the linked list post edits, or can I get your updated list? So thank you very much for the very generous bits there, by the way. The deck list that is on your Stream Decker screen is my updated list. If you actually, and this is actually kind of interesting, so if you want to see the deck that was actually submitted for this versus what I'm currently playing on stream, you can do that by going into the donation queue. Now, I'm going to delete that after today's stream is done, so if you want to peek at what was submitted with the asterisk that I was allowed to make changes, and then this deck that we're currently playing are the changes that I made. And when people do that, I try to stick to, like, the core theme of what the deck is doing, but still try to, like, clean up some of the numbers, improve the mana base a little bit, stuff like that. Can you briefly explain the shift of Negate and Dispel to Surgical in the blue-red tempo sideboard? It was to ideally hedge decks like Dredge and Bridgevine, but honestly, the more games that I play, I think my initial assessment that Surgical Extraction is not a card I want to be playing is correct. I think Surgical Extraction is by and large not particularly good. We're pretty dead here. Probably shouldn't have kept this hand. Let's board in some more removal spells. Hopefully run them out the next game. I think Kolaghan's Command's probably okay here. Kalitas as well. Stromkirk Noble is just like almost never getting through, so let's just like trim those. This seems fine. I think this seems fine. Yeah, let's do it. No, I think you just shouldn't play Graveyard Hate in the blue-red deck most likely. In fact, I'm probably going to update the list on my website tonight to cut the Surgicals. Envious, for those very generous bits, if there's anything that's sitting in my queue that you'd like to see sooner, let me know. Just drop me a message in private, and I'm happy to move that up based on how much you cheered. The people that support my stuff here dictate what we see and when we see it. So for every 100 bits you cheer or $1 you donate, you get to move a deck up in my queue by 1 point. My content is viewer-centric. Yixid Jailer is a wizard. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just Fatal Push this here on 1, so that way I can play Smuggler's Copter onto an empty board next turn. Like, I know I could Collective Brutality it, but I think getting to Smuggler's Copter onto an empty board is ideal here. Since we drew a black creature, I'm going to go ahead and fetch Blood Crypt here. So that way I can cast this next turn before I play a land. Person must have given a great donation. Why is that? I think this deck's pretty reasonable. I think that first match that we played is a great example of like we're playing a bunch of reasonable cards and okay cards and like have a proactive game plan that's reasonable to some degree. I actually think Surgical is better against KCI than Ravenous Trap. Yeah, exactly, Envious. So that's what you sent was the equivalent to $35. So you can pick a deck in the queue, and I'll slide that up by 35 points, which will likely anything midway or higher will push it close to the top. See that tomorrow, probably. What's the best thing to Surgical in KCI? Crocklon Ironworks. Opal, also fine. Scrap Trawler, also fine. Yeah, generally speaking, taking the card the deck is named after is not bad. Yep. It's a little annoying because it makes Collective Brutality worse. If we can find a removal spell next turn and be able to like kill this and then kill this after, we'll be in a pretty reasonable spot. Excuse me. Oh, we should have played the mountain pre-combat for Fiery Temper. Yes, we totally should have. I was thinking I don't think there's any madness cards that this matters for, but Fiery Temper hugely matters. I'm actually going to Faithless Looting pre-combat here because we could hit a madness creature or another thing that lets us true this and then attack with both of these. Ooh, that's not quite the madness creature I was looking for. I'm going to bin this, I think. Do I want to hold this back on defense? I think I want to hold this back on defense for now. Maybe I should have kept the land and been the looting there. It's possible. From the current KCI list, win without spell. I'm actually not sure. This is a madness cost of 3, which is why I didn't do this now. I didn't make that play because it wasn't a legal play. Probably name Faithless Looting on this, since it's a card I have a copy of. Oh, I didn't play a land yet. Oh yeah, my land, I didn't play my land yet. You're right. Yeah, that was much better. Yeah, definitely should have. I could have a 4/4 in play right now, and they'd have gotten hit for 2. Much better. I forgot that I didn't play a land yet this turn. Yeah, I drew the land from looting, but I could have looted it with Smuggler's Copter. Yeah, I could have kept Wooded Foothills Bloodhall Priest as my 2 cards, and then I could have crewed Smuggler's Copter. Yeah, we're pretty dead here. Oh, it does it to any target. Holy gosh, I didn't realize that card hit any target. That's good to know for the future. Just assumed it was players. Okay, yeah, wow, we'd have been in a really good spot there if I hadn't messed up. So I could have kept Bloodhall Priest plus Wooded Foothills, played the Foothills, crewed the Copter, looted, discarded. No, I guess it wouldn't have shot anything though, because I would have had a card in my hand still, right? Oh, I could have discarded it to the Vampire to get an empty hand to get a trigger off the Bloodhall Priest. Yeah, that's sweet. That's sweet. This card seems powerful. Yeah, it's possible Lingering Souls is good in here. There's a chance it's just better than like the Stromkirk Occultist probably. Just like this might be being too much of a slave to our theme. Honestly, Heir of the Night might just be like a really good card that we want 4 of alongside Lingering Souls for like a bunch of evasive threats, especially with Smuggler's Copter. I didn't want to add a 3rd color to the deck that the person has submitted, but we'll play through the league and see how it feels, but maybe that'll be one of the things that we suggest in the wrap up. Excellent Hearthstone hand, medium magic hand. I'll keep this with a scry on the draw. Ding. Can you talk a bit about what we want out of this deck / its keys to victory and all points of black-white walkers? Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. So basically what we're playing is just an aggressive creature deck that also gets to play really efficient removal. So the draws to being red and black are not only this type of payoff, but also the fact that we get to play cards like Lightning Bolt and Fatal Push, and Collective Brutality to a degree. Brutality is a really powerful card. Speaking of eggs. Splashing white would also give us access to powerful sideboard cards like Stony Silence, which seems appealing, right? We have 4 basics in the deck. We could probably trim down to just 2 basics. Or 3 or so. Stromkirk Condemned harder. Not necessarily, because, like, I could add white by, you know, replacing a swamp with a Godless Shrine and a mountain with a Sacred Foundry. And then, like, I still have the same number of black sources in my deck. Envious, thank you very much for the brand new Tier 1 sub there. Welcome. Thanks for all the support. Yeah, good chance we die here. No, I don't think Crackling Doom's a particularly playable card. It's very expensive. I think it's only good in that Jeskai deck that's controlling because it's controlling. Alright, well, if we're not dead this turn, we're probably dead next turn. So, they get to draw a bunch of cards next turn. Yep. Yeah, no reason for them to try and go off early. I mean, what are they going to do? What? How is their sideboarding going to change by seeing Falkenrath Gorger Fiery Temper? Like, what do they have Falkenrath Gorger technology in their sideboard that they're going to suddenly bring in knowing that that's what we're doing? Like, come on now. Come on now. So yeah, the more I think about it, maybe this deck is a little bit too much of a slave to both themes, and maybe we'd be better off just by like leveraging being a madness deck more than anything else, more than focusing on the vampire sub theme explicitly too. Am I digit? All right, can I get yays and nays on chat if anybody wants to sit here? Or if I should just move along? Holy gosh, we got another turn. I don't even know what to do with myself, chat. Just keep swinging, swinging, swinging. Just keep swinging. Doot, doot, doot. Oh, there's two bad. It's like, what is it doing? There's two madness costs. It wants me to pick one. Unless our opponent is exceedingly unlucky, we should be dead here. They could brick off. We're gonna concede to what's it called? They need like Mox Opal to get going, or the other one. Need Trawler. Yeah, we're dead to Trawler at this point. So Wellspring gives them some more draws. So we're just waiting on the Trawler to pack it in. Can I get some Stoneforge Mystics in chat? This is moments like this is what Stoneforge Mystic emoticon was made for. At least we don't have to deal with Stoneforge Mystic. This is fine though. Thanks, R&D. This is perfectly reasonable. Great. Next time we should just concede on turn 2. Move along. Is brutality good enough? It's probably not, right? Oh, this is a Leyline of the Void matchup? Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it? We have a lot of cards here. I haven't played this matchup with Leyline on my deck before. They need their graveyard to go off, yeah. What do we think of this? Are the Kolaghan's commands good? Maybe. Kalitas is good too. Yeah, I guess that is true, right? It takes out their other thing. Jump a couple of bolts. Let's do this. This is like really a 3-drop, right? Doesn't have a Leyline, but I think this is fine, right? Probably go Gorger into Copter into Damping Sphere. Yeah, we don't have Force of Will. That is definitely the truth. Missing Modern's Force. Third land is great. Third land means if we're not worried about dying next turn, we could actually just get the Bloodhall Priest into play and just beat them down, which might be worthwhile. The EDF deck was really clunky. If they don't play Mindstone here, I might just Bloodhall Priest them next turn. Red, green. What are they doing? Explosives for 2. Alright, well, I guess we're really not playing Damping Sphere now. Just gonna go ahead and get Bloodhall Priest into play here. Make sure we click the right one. Don't get a trigger off it, but we just get like a 3-mana 4/4 and just like locks it on, Smiter, go. And we technically generated card advantage off of it, right? Because like we discarded it to this after drawing a card. Some good solid synergy there. Am I dead? This is our last deck of the day. It is, chat. So, might finish a little bit before 3 o'clock, but I need to be done by 3:30, so don't want to kick off another one. We're going to be on for a long stream tomorrow. Again, if people are churning through, tomorrow we're going to be doing a 10+ hour stream to celebrate hitting a sub goal, which was 2,000 subs. Grishelbrand could squeeze into the hour slot. Well, that's sad. I liked my Smuggler's Copter, so I assume that's the only card we could take out of their hand here. Reservoir, yep. Do I just go ahead and play Damping Sphere here then to make them blow up Engineered Explosives next turn? I think so. Because like they don't have 2 mana to blow it up here. Yeah, so I think I do this, and then I hit them for 6, and then they're actually just dead to the bolt next turn. So yeah, there's no reason not to play the Sphere. This just like might not even slow them down, right? They're just like sack star, draw a card, sack opal, crack this, like kill us. At least they don't have a Stoneforge Mystic. Even just casting a couple of spells will be pretty good for them to buffer their health a little bit. Do I think KCI should be banned? I think Ancient Stirring should be banned. I think if we're on board to ban Ponder and Preordain, and I do think Ponder and Preordain are good bans, I think it's silly that both Ancient Stirrings and Faithless Looting are illegal. And the Reservoir might just let them kill us without even full comboing. Yeah, like they're hit 26. Like, even if they don't go off here, we're still super far behind, right? I'm gonna start by... I want to get my hand empty for this Bloodhall Priest. I'm gonna start by casting this. I'm supposed to just cast Leyline here, right? I think it's still impactful at this point. I'm like, we have them dead. They're dead in 5 attacks right now. I disagree with you, but I don't feel like explaining anything. Can I get my timeout? I got you, Rad. Thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Yeah, they're dead in 4 at the moment, but I have Faithless Looting to maybe dig to another Lightning Bolt or more pressure for next turn. So if we can find even just a way to deal 2 more, we get to kill them in 2 turns. Sweet. I think I actually just want to cast this to get my extra 2 points of damage in here. I could Faithless Looting and like discard it for value, but like value's not how we're winning this game. We're gonna win this game by just like attacking them to death here. So they're dead on board. Go. They could rip something like Worm Coil as a card they bring out of the sideboard with some frequency. So this doesn't draw them cards anymore because the Dice trigger doesn't exist. They don't play Worm Coil anymore. Okay. It's been a while since I've played QCI. Seriously? Alright. How lucky are you? Okay, so you're saying there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. No, I just want to get the trigger from Bloodhall Priest ASAP here. Oh, I guess I should hold this land because I could loot into Bloodghast here. Yes, please. Start with this and see what we get. Sweet. Would much rather play this one. Alright, they're at 2. They're not gonna ban Stirring Zuzubus. Like Moxel Bull. 2 Card should have been gone a decade ago. It's probably always going to be. Always going to be there. We're like probably dead, right? They get back Wellspring. Wellspring draws 2 cards. They get back a Terrarian. That draws a card. At least they didn't cast Stoneforge Mystic. At least they didn't cast Stoneforge Mystic. They're a mere retriever from us being dead, so... The back to nature into the top deck troller. Yeah. That's modern. It's part of the format. Just how it goes. Just how it goes. I just want toys to play with too. I'm fine with eggs being a deck and Tron being a deck, but like when those same people that like play things like Tron and eggs like look me square in the face and then tell me they honestly believe that things like Stoneforge Mystic would be unhealthy for the format, you just want to like reach across the table and smack them in their stupid face. Just like, come on now. You're gonna tell me Stoneforge Mystic is too good with what's going on here? How are you remotely close to reasonable? That's my favorite pimped up mug. Every white creature deck would play Stoneforge Mystic. Really. All them white creature decks. Yeah. I know, I'm aware that banning Ancient Stirrings wouldn't kill Ironworks. That's not the point. The point of banning Ancient Stirrings isn't to make the deck unplayable. The point of banning Ancient Stirrings is to make the deck less consistent, so that way it's less powerful. By banning enablers, you make the decks that are obnoxious weaker, but still playable, which should be the goal. Little did I know we should have shocked in this Blood Crypt to prevent them from taking our Occultist. Little did we know. You just shouldn't engage with people that are trying to tell you that Stoneforge Mystic and other cards like it have to be banned, can't be legal on power level. Those people just like probably have never played with the cards and don't get it. Yeah, I think it would create some interesting new decks. I think there are some existing decks, like maybe Jeskai or possibly some kind of blue-white mid-range iteration that would be similar to the control deck that would pop up that would want Stoneforge Mystic, but I also think that it would probably make reasonable new decks in the format. You would try Stoneforge Mystic Inhuman, sure. I mean, I've seen how awkward Phantasmal Image is to cast in that deck, much less activate a Stoneforge Mystic. Opponent correctly identifying that casting the discard mode on Brutality was not going to end well for them. Someone donated earlier to dodge the Twitch tariff. My end asking, or is it just the extra? That's what they're talking about. They're talking about the upcharge that you have to pay for bits. As a streamer, streamers prefer bits to PayPal because PayPal has a huge risk associated with it with chargebacks. With PayPal, the money isn't guaranteed to be in my pocket for upwards of a year. Chargebacks always screw the merchant or the small person. PayPal got strict. What does that mean? Sounds like you're just making stuff up. As a small business or an individual providing a service, you basically have no security selling things on PayPal. It's like virtually impossible to win a case. Probably want these Kolaghan's commands. They probably have Ensnaring Bridge on their board. Call the Netherworld is a free madness card, so let's get that in here. I'm just going to trim bolts too. Now, Faithless Looting is card disadvantage. I'm going to trim a couple of those. We're going to have plenty of ways to turn on madness for us. How do bits translate into dollars? 1 bit is 1 penny for a streamer. So cheering 100 bits sends a streamer $1. The cost for buying bits differs depending on how many bits you're buying. This matchup does seem really awkward. I agree. I almost wanted to say it was bad, but like with all of our madness cards, it can't be too strictly bad, right? This is a permanent marker that I'm playing with. That's just a stupid question. Yeah, we want to be on the draw. Want the extra card in this matchup for sure. One of the few times it's right to be on the draw in Magic when you're playing against 8-rack. I mean, we have plenty of removal spells that we keep in, like our bolts and our fiery tempers are staying in. Get into MTG Finance. That sounds like way too much work for far too little return. I do what I can to point out when MTG Finance people do things that are obnoxious, but the long and short of it is MTG Finance doesn't really affect what I do. I borrow everything that I use, both digitally and physically. Don't really own Magic cards. Keep. Do I own Blue-Red Wizards? Nope. I don't own any Magic cards that are really worth anything. I guess that's not right. Someone sent me a Painter Servant masterpiece that I'm going to frame, so I guess I technically own that. Deal. Thanks. No, I've sold all the anticipates. Signed and sold them. MTGO Traders, who sponsors my stream, provides me with cards to stream with. We did queue into 8 rack. Grindstone would be an okay reprint into Modern. Probably not. Let's just, like, have less degenerate combos, please. I almost thought about playing a fetch land there to play around a Fatal Push like that. Could go either way. Do I want to burn my Shatter on this rack? I don't think so. I think I just want to go land Stromkirk Occultist here. That's kind of appealing. That gives me more information to work with. Yeah, I'm just going to play the Occultist, actually. Because, like, even if they play, like, Liliana and Staring Bridge are, like, the scary 3-drops they could have. And, like, Kolaghan's command covers Ensnaring Bridge, and Bloodghast handles the Edict on the Liliana. That would be a modern legal cantrip, Terror and Terror. Not standard. Standard cantrips are never worth anything. It's like Serum Vision was like $10 at the time. So I figured if Anticipate could be a couple of dollars at some point in the future, it might be okay. Deal. See what we get with the Cultist here first. Sure. I'm just going to pass. This lets me put Occultists into play during their end step and then kill them next turn, right? Yeah. So I want to do this and respond to the Madness trigger, because this way, if my opponent kills this in response to the fetch land, I still get to cast this. Ghet, there is more than power level reasons to ban a card in a format. Ghet is a Magic the Gathering card that, much like Punishing Fire and Grove of the Burn Willows, creates miserable gameplay and should remain banned because it creates miserable gameplay. I mean, Glimpse of Nature should never be unbanned. That card is absurdly degenerate. This is 10 attack I have. So with the Lord effect here, we'll be good to go. Cannon Gear with the $10 donation. Hooglandia needs more cards. Let's put Black-White cards back in the queue. Well do, Cannon. Thank you for the support. Fatal Push my thing. What if we didn't do that and instead made all my things bigger? So they should be dead here. They have Bolt plus K command. Nobody's unbanning top, Justin. That card is miserable. Leave it where it is. Ain't nobody got time for Sensei's Divining Top. Ain't nobody got time for Sensei's Divining Top. Glimpse the Unthinkable, that's true. The card is technically called Glimpse. Tron lands are legal and Cloudpost lands are banned because Wizards of the Coast doesn't revisit the ban list often enough. Tron lands are far more powerful at doing modern related things than Cloudpost lands are. Cloudpost lands are much worse at casting Karn on turn 3. Top is miserable because of the amount of time it takes out of every match. That is why top is miserable. Top isn't miserable from a power level perspective. It isn't miserable from a game. It's miserable from like a mechanics perspective. I would much rather play against Cloudpost than Tron. Every time. Seems pretty good. Good solid curve here. Yeah, Falkenrath Gorger on one here. Amulet of Vigor is a lot of moving pieces. And if you want to involve a bunch of moving pieces in something, it's probably fine. Rawr. Modern staple Heir of Falkenrath here. Rude. Sure. Pancakes, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think anything that makes Modern more degenerate should not be welcome in the format. I would not unban anything more degenerate. Modern has a plethora of powerful degenerate strategies. The things that need help in this format are not the degenerate decks. I think I want at least one more thing in play. Like, if I just hold mana up, there's a good chance they just, like, never cast any spells. A pretty quick clock here. It'll push. Sure. Yeah, fair versus unfair, degenerate versus not in Magic refers to decks that win with combo kills. So, like, the deck that we're playing right now is what would be considered a fair deck because it wins through honest means of just attacking and blocking as opposed to, like, doing a, one turn kill. a Hadouken style kill, if you would. So they're dead next turn to this Bloodghast with haste. So if I play this fetch, I can discard this Bloodghast in response. Okay, so I'm going to the Madness trigger. I'm going to let the Madness trigger say no Madness, go to the bin. And then in response to this trigger, I'm going to put the Bloodghast back into play. Have another extra page? Sure. They're still dead, right? Yeah, Fiery Temper is lethal. Okay, so these folks get larger. This is an attack for 10. We have Fiery Temper to kill their Mutavault. All right. Our deck full of Madness cards has beaten the Tribal Discard deck. Cast really bad Searing Spear. This card's been kind of sweet. It's a little, it feels a little expensive, but the trample's been okay. This card's been okay. So we're 2-2, but I feel like the match against Eggs, we got pretty unfortunate that they ripped their Trawler that last turn before we had them dead. You think that any cards in Humans should be banned? No, I don't think so. I think Humans is fine as it is. I think if you were going to ban something for some reason, it would probably be Cavern of Souls, but I think having a deck like Humans be the best deck in Modern is good for Modern. Humans is an honest deck that plays good Disruption. That is exactly the style of deck I want to be good in a format. The types of decks that Humans beats up on are obnoxious, generally speaking. All right, this will be our last match of the afternoon. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as every day during the week. And tomorrow is going to be a long stream. We're going to be on for 10 or 12 hours. We'll be doing all Modern all day. We're going to be doing some giveaways throughout the course of the day as well. So be sure to drop by for part of that. Can I win the giveaway if I just sit and chat? You won't have to be present to win. So the way we're gonna run the giveaways tomorrow is you'll just enter at some point throughout the course of the day, and then we'll notify winners. Probably Saturday or Sunday. We'll pull them off stream. I don't want to take away time from the actual Magic to do giveaway stuff, but I want to give folks something for supporting what they've supported me here. Got some stuff from the sponsors, then we got some playmats and stuff that I'm gonna sign and mail out myself. For some of the physical stuff for the giveaway, it's probably going to be limited to the 48 states. Like, I think two of my sponsor things, I can't, they don't ship international. Just too expensive. All right, so I'm going to shock this in because we could draw the 4-mana vampire. I am not giving away any mattresses. Perfect. Value. Yeah, it's probably some kind of weird amulet iteration, right? I think I'm going to cast this Faithless Looting, just ditching these Fatal Pushes. Cards are probably pretty bad in this matchup. We actually had someone donate to add blue-black thing back to the queue, but obviously decks get added to the queue at the bottom generally. I think there was $10 donated with it, so we'll get to play a lot of decks tomorrow. There's a ton of decks in the queue, so we'll just be starting at the top and working our way down. So they are playing some kind of brew here. It's possible I should try and hit a land here, because then I could bring this Bloodghast back and crew pre-combat. What is the average number of leagues per hour? My average league is about 90 minutes. There's some shorter, some more, and some less than that. Am I going to try Leyline? No, I don't think so. I think it's not. I think Leyline's bad with all the Dark Confidant effects in that deck. I think Nihil Spellbomb is the better card. Alright, I guess I'm putting this into play. I didn't pre-combat looting because if I drew a Bloodhall Priest off of the Smuggler's Copter, I wanted to have 3 lands to put it into play. Yep, Nerdster, that's why that deck doesn't see play. It's very expensive to build. Yeah, it's been a pretty sweet league. Honestly, I kind of just want... I feel like exploring a small white splash for Lingering Souls and some sideboard cards is probably worthwhile. I don't know what they're doing, so I'm going to board in discard spells and trim a little bit of spot removal and try and figure it out. So there's a chance these Fatal Pushes and Fiery Tempers are like worth keeping, but I don't actually know yet, so let's try and work it out. And like they played Explore, so they could be some kind of like big mana strategy, but don't exactly know for sure. Oh, stretch. Opponent probably also doesn't... Opponent, like, lost the game to us and probably also doesn't really know how to sideboard. Just like, Nope, Goryo's is definitely a rare. Yeah, I think this hand's keepable. This card's just been really sweet. Just like 2 mana Delver, basically. I'm looking forward to Guilds of Rab. They are, in fact, just playing Amulet Titan. Okay. That's kind of a tilt. Hopefully we hit a red source next turn so we can go looting, ditch temper, kill Sakura Tribe Scout. Well. Of course, pancakes. I'm actually going to trim these tempers, just bring in Damping Sphere for this matchup. Just run it back. I've got bolts and Collective Brutality to kill their smaller creatures, which is nice. I've got some discard spells as well here. No, I think trying to fight the amulets is the wrong axis to be on. That's a lot of mana. Like a lot of mana. 3 is a ton. Like in reality, like these are 2 drops and these are 3 drops. So I want to try and keep our curve kind of low, I think. Any advice on chaos drafting? I have no idea. Things I don't do. Limited. At this point, pretty much only modern for Magic. Oh my god, I just clicked no. Whoops. Gosh, this hand would be so good on the play. Alright, yeah, I put myself on the draw by mistake. Maybe they kept a kind of bad hand because they thought they were going to be on the draw. Probably want to Damping Sphere this turn so they can't Azusa us. Sure. This is probably going to get in Engineer Explosives, I'd imagine. Really want to draw a land here so we can go Thoughtseize plus Falkenrath Gorger this turn. Two PM PT. 2 PM PT is an hour and 20 minutes from now. Land. I think I'm pretty obligated to cast this turn. And again, the reason why... Oh, that's pretty good for us. The reason why I am not playing the Falkenrath Gorger this turn is because this card is symmetrical, so I cannot cast this card this turn. Their hand's kind of medium. If we can get some pressure down, we could be in a really good spot. Walking Ballista. That's annoying. That's a good draw. They might only have 1 explosives in their deck right now. Soul Sisters went 3 and 2. That always performs okay. So they have Gralter, Vesuva, Summoner's Pact, Walking Ballista. Now 2 cards we don't know. I'm going to drop Falkenrath Gorger into play at end of turn here. Flip this now into a 3/2 so they can't kill it with just 1 counter. How much longer are we going? This is right at the end here, Bino. I'm gonna go ahead and put Condemned into play here. Lets us play through this Walking Ballista pretty nicely. Nice straights. Yeah, I think the Mutavaults are good additions. We actually had someone donate to put the Black-White Cards deck back in the queue again today. I think that is probably a pretty good addition to the deck. Why not pre-combat? Because I didn't want them to kill both my Falkenrath Gorgers. I thought there was a chance that they'd do what they did here, which was shoot one of them, and now they took 2 damage from the other one. So, like, now they're incentivized to, like, shoot the Falkenrath Gorger here before this comes down. So, like, my sequencing here by playing this post-combat actually allowed me to get more damage in because it allowed my opponents a chance to make a mistake. Whereas if I would have played this pre-combat, they would have just gone like, okay, shoot both your 2/1s, go. Wonder if we're going to see Pact for Rex Sage here. Pact for Rex Sage means our second copy of... I just have an Azusa, sure. You have a Blood Crypt? Getting Blood Crypt is weird. They have something they want to make red mana for? So... I'm definitely attacking here. And then when they don't block, I discard a card to this, hit them for 7. Oh, rats, they're blocking. I'm doing this because I want the Bloodhall Priest trigger here. Now, they can't even Rurikthar. Oh, they could have a Rurikthar in hand. Yeah, they could have Rurikthar, exactly. Even if they have Rurikthar, they're dead here, though. Because of modern staple Bloodhall Priest. Okay. I Steal Rhinos. Thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Alright, so now if they have bounce land, they can put a Titan into play. But they're already through their Vesuva and their Slayer Stronghold. I believe they are dead. Let's get a modern staple Bloodhall Priest on the table here. This is the Reed Bloodhall Priest pause for those that are not familiar with this moment of lag. Alright. This deck was neat. This is my last league of the day. This was, there's a lot, I feel like there's a lot to unpack here. I almost feel like there's maybe too much to... I almost feel like maybe we have too much playing into the Madness theme. Like, honestly, maybe these Fiery Tempers just aren't good enough. And, like, I want to just, like, flesh out some of the other cards in the deck. Like, you know, another Bloodghast, another Smuggler's Copter, and then, like, fit some amount of Lingering Souls in here, as well as some white cards in the sideboard, potentially. Heir of Falkenrath. Heir of Falkenrath was really sweet pretty consistently, just like a 3-2 evasive flyer that consistently flipped on over. Between, like, this being evasive and, like, this having trample and then some pumps from the Stromkirk Condemned. That kind of a lot going on. And, you know, it's hard to be too bad when you have, like, Faithless Looting for card selection and Fatal Push and bolts and stuff like that. I'm signing off for the day, folks. I'll catch all y'all around later. Remember, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I'll be going all day long and into the evening. So I'm doing a minimum of 10 hours, probably closer to 12. We'll see how I'm feeling towards the end. And I'll catch y'all then. Everybody, have a good evening.